Known by many names, Cathy White, Cathy Michelle White, Cathy Coriana White, or Lil Cathy, Corrina Hun, or Corrie to friends and family, according to her obituary, she was born in the Fort Polk military base in Louisiana, which has since been renamed Fort Johnson. This military base has its own hospital for the Army personnel called the Bain Jones Army Community Hospital. Cathy's grandfather was a World War II veteran, and perhaps the military gene ran in the family. However, sometime later, her family seemingly moved to Norfolk, Virginia, which is located in the southeasternmost point of Virginia in the so-called Tidewater region. Known for its major bays and rivers that give access to and harbor from the Atlantic Ocean, this is why the area is also home to numerous US Army bases, which may have something to do with the fact that her family moved there in the first place. Norfolk is also part of the so-called Southampton Roads region, which consists of several mid-sized cities that border each other, including Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, and Suffolk, as well as having direct bridge access to the other side of the James River, where there are more similar-sized cities like Newport News and Hampton. This area, creating the Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Newport News metro area, has a combined population of almost 2 million people. But despite the area having a sizable population and being one of the largest metro areas in Virginia, many still describe it as having a small town feel. There, Cathy would seemingly attend the Indian River High School in the city of Chesapeake, and eventually she would graduate in 2000 from the Maury High School in Norfolk, before going on to study and graduate in 2004 from the esteemed Howard University in Washington, D.C. Known for being one of the top historically black universities, also known as HBCUs, in the country. Ranked by the National Science Foundation as the top producer of African American undergraduates who later earned science and engineering doctoral degrees. And it's from her time in Howard that one of the few videos about her online can still be found, filmed during the university's fashion show in 2001. And this showed that Cathy was seemingly a confident girl, not afraid of the limelight. Needless to say that after graduating from an esteemed school like Howard, Cathy's future was looking very promising. And afterwards, she would eventually end up working in the field of publishing. Although at this point in 2024, what that exactly entailed is still not very clear. But according to gossip blogs from the early 2010s, she contributed to various online publications, as well as eventually having her own PR firm, White Label PR, seemingly providing services relating to the fitness and beauty industries on the side. Cathy's career in publishing would eventually take her far away from the small town feel of Norfolk, all the way to the other side of the country, where she appeared to settle in the city where every publicist in her field dreams of making it, Los Angeles. Although it's not clear when exactly this move happened, what does seem clear is that eventually Cathy would not only settle in LA, but thrive there, making friends with influential people within the LA celebrity, socialite, and jet set circuits, people such as Nikki Chu, celebrity interior designer, reality TV star and host, actress and photographer Chenoa Maxwell, and most famously, reality TV star host and model Claudia Jordan, who had a long career in entertainment, first participating in numerous beauty pageant competitions in the 90s, and then making her break in the industry by being a model on The Price is Right, as well as Deal or No Deal game shows during the early and mid-2000s, performing in the latter one with none other than the infamous actor Meghan Markle, who would later end up marrying the real Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Prince Harry.
Now, this is a story all about how man life got flipped, turned upside down.
In the late 2000s, Cathy's close friend Claudia would begin to appear on numerous reality and other TV shows, such as Donald Trump's The Celebrity Apprentice, as well as being a host at Jamie Foxx's popular Sirius XM radio channel, The Foxhole. That name's terrible. We gotta have The Foxhole. In the 2010s, she also appeared on the Real Housewives of Atlanta reality TV show, and most recently, she competed in NBC's Deal or No Deal Island game show in 2024, as well as being a host on the Fox Soul streaming network. However, unlike her friends, who many strive to be in front of the cameras, Cathy White appeared to be mainly focused on working behind the scenes and playing her role as a publicist, and therefore there aren't too many traces of her left online from the more established media sources compared to her friends, with one of those few sources being photos taken during appearances at a few different socialite events. However, this may have eventually changed, because while Cathy was seemingly mostly working behind the scenes in the entertainment industry, it does seem that in the background she did also have some other ambitions, as she was apparently a trained singer going by the artist name Coriana or Coriana Hun, and she would even appear to have registered her own company focused on music called the Coriana Hun Music Group while living in LA. There's also an internet movie database entrance made for her under the name Coriana Hun, where her alleged manager describes her as a successful model, screenwriter, and a talented singer-songwriter. And indeed, some of her modeling photos can still be found circulating online. Interestingly, this page also lists her birthplace as New Orleans, Louisiana, not Fort Polk, as well as listing her birth year as 1985 instead of the 1982 found on her obituary. Perhaps she thought saying she was from a more famous city and a younger age might have been assets for her career in entertainment. And there's even some credits that she has on the page from a few movies and TV shows she appeared in. One of these being a 2009 movie called Deep in the Valley, which is undoubtedly one of the most 2000s style comedy movies ever made, with Cathy playing one of the dozens of scantily clad women making an appearance in the film, along with some good company like Kim Kardashian, who at this point in the late 2000s had only just begun her unbelievable rise to the top of the entertainment world, following her unforgettable performance in the 2007 box office smash Kim Kardashian Superstar, co-starring Ray J. But anyway, for Cathy White, aka Coriana Hun, the last role listed on the site is from a 2010 Hood movie titled Nobody Smiling, where she had a short one-scene role. But despite these tidbits of information about Cathy's ambitions in front of the camera, there's surprisingly little left online to show that side of her. On social media, on the other hand, particularly Twitter, there are still many photos and mentions of Cathy still floating around, despite her eventually deleting all of her socials for a period of time due to the infamous events that would end up transpiring in the lead up to her untimely death. One capture that's left on her old Twitter on the Wayback Machine shows her describing herself as a lifestyle, fitness, beauty, PR pro, self-styled fashionista and beauty expert who loves life, friends, family, and God, with some of her tweets even implying that she might have been personally connected to celebrities like the Kardashians. There are also many mentions of Cathy on Twitter by her friends, these painting a picture of a 20-something Cathy living her best life in the City of Angels. The kind of life that she had likely dreamt of as a kid growing up in Norfolk, like wining and dining at the hippest restaurants, shopping luxury fashion and building a collection of designer purses, and of course going to the industry events and parties with her popular and influential friendship circle. With two of her friends, Nikki and Claudia, she would seemingly become so close while living it up in LA that they would playfully begin to refer to themselves as the Trilogy. But besides LA, there was seemingly one other place where Cathy and her friends would often frequent: Las Vegas. This appeared to be particularly the case with Claudia, who would often post about her visiting the Sin City either for work or for pleasure, often seemingly for both. And interestingly, it appeared that Jay-Z too was somewhat frequenting Vegas around this same time, and Claudia appeared to be at least to some degree connected with Jay-Z through mutual friends, such as the comedy powerhouse Marlon Wayans, and she would sometimes mention on Twitter about her plans of going to Jay-Z's concerts or parties while she was in Vegas. And it would be in May 2009 when she would allegedly attend one such party, together with Cathy White, sparking rumors about her, Jay, and even Diddy that still raise eyebrows on the internet to this very day.